sector. The retail sector has been valued at $24.4 billion. A growing middle class with increasing purchasing power is creating demand for a wider variety of sophisticated services in healthcare, finance, and education. In the region, Ghana has one of the highest mobile penetration rates at 140%, with data penetration at 89%. The country has a thriving startup scene, helped by access to broadband internet that runs on fiber optic and 4G networks. The fintech industry is worth over $50 billion. Ghana is an English-speaking nation located in the center of the geographical world, with flight times from Europe or America averaging about 8 hours. Transportation networks in and out of the country have received enhancements in order to aid the ease of doing business. It has a new international airport terminal and an expanded port infrastructure. Tema Port is one of the largest in Africa, with a capacity to handle 3.5 million TEUs. The expansion in the economy is largely due to oil and gas development. Other sustainable sources of power, like solar, wind, and thermal, will significantly increase the country's energy resources. We invite you to share in Ghana's optimism, be part of the incredible opportunities we offer, and be open to the idea to grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
Hello and good morning, good afternoon, and then good evening, wherever you are, in Asia, in the US, in Europe, and in Africa. Welcome to the closing session for the first hybrid aquaculture conference for West Africa. Throughout the last 3 days, we have gone through a lot of meetings, or we have been into a lot of meetings with a number of speakers. And today, finally, we are coming to the close of this conference, which is the first of its kind on the continent. My name is Collins Pradiodu. I am a lecturer with the Department of Marine and Fisheries Science, and I'll be your moderator for today. Before I move on, I would want to acknowledge our partners and then sponsors and some key people who have contributed so much to this conference. First of all, I want to acknowledge the Chamber of Aquaculture Ghana for receiving the bid, or for accepting the bid to host this first hybrid aquaculture conference for West Africa. And also to the Department of Marine and Fisheries Sciences, University of Ghana, for accepting to co-host or to join hands with the Chamber of Aquaculture Ghana to organize this conference. Then I would also want to acknowledge the World Aquaculture Society and the African chapter of the society for supporting us to host or to organize this conference. Then I want to move on quickly to acknowledge our sponsors who have also really supported us with their resources, their money, and their materials to make this conference a success. First of all, I want to acknowledge the World Initiative for Soybean in Human Health, WISH. Then I want to also acknowledge PumpTech, who provide very reliable source of water pump machines for all purposes. I want to acknowledge GIZ Ghana, the German Development Corporation in Ghana, then also to Cycle Farms, to the Ghana Investment Promotions Center, to Ranan Feeds West Africa. Then also I want to acknowledge Alaqua for their support. I want to acknowledge Sanisa for their support and for sponsoring the photo session along with Asakwa. Then I would acknowledge our media partner, aquafeed.com, for promoting and for pushing this conference across the globe. We want to give very special mention to William Lenshin of Sanisa. He has been very supportive and he's really contributed so much to the success of this conference. We would also want to acknowledge Dickness Faluk Ariola, who has been very instrumental in bringing or pulling most of the speakers for us. Then we want to give a special mention to Mr. Kwame Pianim, who has also been very instrumental in the organization of this conference. Before we start, shall we share a word of prayer? Dear Lord, we thank you. You began with us on Friday, and today you are ending with us. Just as you have done it on Friday, on Saturday, we pray that you do it again for us today as we close. In Jesus' name, amen. So, the first item I would want us to do is to receive a very brief address from the CEO of the Chamber of Aquaculture, and he is going to brief us on the conference participation. How has we received participation for this conference so far? How many people have been part of this whole conference? So without much ado, I would want to welcome Mr. Jacob Ajiga, the CEO of the Chamber of Aquaculture.
Thank you, Dr. Collins. We are excited to be here this afternoon to witness the closing ceremony. This initiative started 4 months ago, and we are happy to see this day. As a matter of fact, this conference attracted quite huge participants across the globe. We actually had over 715 registered participants coming from all over the world. We had participants coming from at least 47 countries. And if I want to break it down, we have participants coming from African countries. That's over 22 African countries. We also had participants coming from 11 European countries. We also had participants coming from 8 countries in Asia. Then in North and South America, we had 6 countries having participants coming from those areas. And majority of participants for the conference were coming from Anglophone countries, English-speaking countries. Yes, and we have few coming from Francophone countries. This is a lesson that we've learned, and it's something that we're going to work on in the future to attract a lot of participation from Francophone countries. In terms of representation from the aquaculture environment, we had at least the larger portion coming from industry players. So we had over 45% being industry players. Here we're talking about farmers, fish, feed producers, etc. And academia or researchers were also heavily represented. That was almost 40% of participation. Then followed by government and non-governmental stakeholders representing 9%, and government stakeholders, government agencies, etc., were around 6%. This is quite low. So in the future, we really need to attract a lot of these government stakeholders to participate in key conferences like this that they are regulating. So this conference is a hybrid one. We had the opening ceremony being in person, then we also shifted the rest online, then the closing ceremony being in person. So when we were planning, we estimated that we were going to have at least 60 persons for the in-person participation. However, we noticed that it actually exceeded. We had over 104 in-person participation during the opening ceremony. In terms of online, as a matter of fact, drew quite huge audience or participation. The first day was, fantastic. We had over an average of 479 participants participating online. Then the following day, 364. That was yesterday. Then today, we had an average of 215. Of course, today is Sunday, so I guess a lot of participants are resting at home. Then when it comes to the speakers and the moderators for this particular conference, we attracted speakers and moderators from all over the globe. So for the in-person events, we had one moderator and 6 key speakers who were coming from mainly government agencies and the private sector. Then for the online section, we had 13 moderators for this session and at least 39 speakers coming from all over the world as well. So this clearly shows that indeed, although this is the first hybrid conference, we were able to attract quite some good audience coming from the entire globe and speakers coming from all over the world. So we hope that future events will attract even bigger audience and attract adequate representation from the government sector. Thank you very much, moderator.
Okay, thank you very much, CEO of the Chamber of Aquaculture. The next we will do today, but before we move to the next, and I want to say that to announce to our online audience, especially those on Zoom, that somewhere along we would ask 2 of you from Zoom to share your experience with this online conference with us. And you have a maximum of about 1.5 minutes to do that. So please prepare yourself, and when the time is due, I will call 2 from the Zoom session to join us here to share their experience. Thank you. So the next item, I would want to give us a brief summary of the sessions that we've had so far for the whole conference. So beginning Friday at exactly 9 a.m. when the opening session began, we had about 6 speakers who spoke to us, and mostly their presentations were focused on aquaculture governance. Then immediately after the opening session, we moved into the online sessions, which began with fish health and diseases. And we have very remarkable presentations coming from 4 renowned speakers from Norway and then also from Ghana. Then we moved on to another session on women and youth in aquaculture. And this session was very interactive. And I think at the end of the session, we realized that a lot of youth are being left out. Although we seem to be promoting youth in aquaculture, but we do not have very good representation alongside with the women. Then on the second day, we started with a session on oral presentations. We had about 9 different speakers who presented to us different topics, ranging from fish disease to growth performance of fish, and then we ended with through water quality, and then we ended with a presentation from Darius on Aframakwa, which was the network on marine aquaculture in Africa. Then on day 3, or still on day 2, we looked at aquafeed development in West Africa, and that was also another very interesting session. Then we moved on to the photo competition, and I must say congratulations once again to the winners of the photo competition. Then after the photo competition, we moved into the role of the media in aquaculture development in West Africa. That was also quite an interactive session. This morning, or let me say this afternoon, we began with an interactive session looking at all the sessions that we have had so far from Friday to Saturday, the various topics we have handled, and then we also, with the audience on Zoom, we interacted on what we think about the topics, and also we brought forth our contributions to the various topics that were discussed. Then we looked at the country reports this afternoon, which was led by Dickness, Faluke Ariola, and then we moved on to the human rights issues in aquaculture, and Prof. Salifu did justice to that. Then before the closing session began, we had a session on aquaculture governance, which our speakers, Emmanuel Menyoli and Dr. Olido, please forgive me if I don't get the name right. And now we are having our closing session. So I think it has been very, very interactive. It has been very good. And so far, I would say, so good. So quickly, we will move on to the next thing we have on our item, and it is a keynote speech from the conference, and we are going to look at this from the local perspective, the regional perspective, and then the continental perspective. So I will call upon Mr. Wisdom Abudakpi, who will be speaking more on the local perspective. Mr. Abudakpi, please, you may mount the podium.
Thank you, MC, and thank you, everybody. Nice having you around. I think from the perspective of the conference, thank you very much. We are, from the local stage, looking at the success level that this particular conference has really brought us to. And to look at it from perspective, we have actually seen exactly the attention that the Chamber, through the collaboration with our partners, the Department of Fisheries and Marine, have really brought out to the way. We have also seen the welcoming information that have come up to organizations such as GIZ and then GIPC's call that they have really open up to see exactly the importance of aquaculture activities in the country. We equally have seen the call that have come on aquaculture practices. We have taken note of the conference has really addressed key issue on fish health. It has also called on the issue regarding cost of production. It has really dealt also on activities such as water quality, and these things are very critical for the industry as we speak. We are actually looking also of the youth empowerment and employment in the country, of which the conference have really addressed this topic as well. And this would go a long way in tackling food sustainability. It will tackle employment and tackle also a reduction of crime, because once the youth is really engaged, having a meaningful job, we know for sure that security in our system would be also a very good thing that we can talk about. The conference have actually also proven that yes, there is a vibrant organization, that is the Chamber of Aquaculture, that have been able to harness all these resources or put things together and to communicate these issues that are bottlenecks for the industry, for communicating it and then making sure that we can have address to it. We have also for sure gained one attention, because we know for sure that we cannot survive in this industry if we do not have media representation. Media is a key component or a key partner in this regards. And I want to use this opportunity to thank Graphic for the capturing that have been done. We are very grateful, but next time we call that you put us on either page 2 or page 3. The 26 is not enough for us, because after every event, after work, everybody looks for food. And the food without fish, it is not really a food that would deal with nutrition. So we really deserve and calling for more of that to go. Be that as may, I am equally, the conference have really made mention of a lot, and I'm echoing this again, which has to do with governance. This afternoon, we have actually experienced very great presentation from our panelists, which has to do with security issues and then governance. Government have a big role to play. And if we say government, we're not just referring to government of Ghana. We're referring to all governance that are really within the sub-region, to open up discussions and open up doors for the industry, dialogue, and also address the concerns that have been raised. We have really put in a lot, and we are very happy that GIZ and GIPC have opened up to receive most of this. So after this conference, this is not just going to be the way. We're really going to continue to dialogue with you and to see success of this. We have also come to a conclusion that the impact that this conference have created, the Chamber of Aquaculture and also the Department of Marine and Fisheries from the University of Ghana have actually come to the point, and I'm glad to announce this to you, that the conference is not just going to be a 3-year, 2-year conference, but rather going to be an annual conference that is going to bring a continuous improvement in our way of working, learn a lot, in the industry, and bringing quality to the table in terms of this. So this is really the good news that I have. But apart from all this, we are very, very keen on governance and government. Because if government do not pave the way, the roads are not done, things are not appropriate, promoting of agriculture, local support are not there, we will be able, or we will not be able to do enough. So this is the call that I am really bringing out to you. Thank you very much, and thank you for participating in the conference.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wisdom Abudapi, for that wonderful presentation. Yes, I would quickly call on Mr. Blessing Mapfumo, who is the Executive Officer and the Executive Officer at the Secretariat of the World Aquaculture Society Africa Chapter, to give us the perspective for the regional and then the continental.
Thank you very much. What a period we had over the past 2 days. And I'm very much overly excited to see, a success story coming out of West Africa once again. And unfortunately, I always start by saying that the person who's supposed to be on the podium is not with us. That's Mr. Lanre Badmas, the WAS African Chapter Regional Director for West Africa. He could not be with us. So here I wish to just deliver a very quick statement which we put together on the way forward. We have seen this momentous conference, and we want to work with you, to collaborate with you, going forward. So I've got just some points as to how we can do it, how we can move forward. The World Aquaculture Society is overly pleased to recognize the success of this first hybrid conference, which can only be attributed to team and collaborative efforts, and the region's energy and enthusiasm to be progressive in its quest for sustainable aquaculture development. This was just the beginning, and we support our co-organizers' desire to have more improved and value-added events like this in future. Other regions of Africa have learned a lot from this occasion. For instance, the East Africa region also plans to have their hybrid conference in August this year, and have been capturing some of the tips and tricks on how to manage a virtual event of this magnitude. In line with our mandate, we will strive to continue to develop platforms for education, communication, and networking for the exchange of information and learning in effort to find solution to some of the challenges highlighted in this forum. This includes inefficient development approaches, professionalization of the aquaculture sector along the value chain with strong investment and human and institutional capital, weak governance, underdeveloped value chains, low availability and high costs of key resources for production, such as feeds, seeds, finances, and other cross-cutting issues you heard, such as gender, youth employment, and human rights in aquaculture. We strive to deliver through special training courses, seminars, webinars, trade shows, and expositions, not forgetting the generic exchange of information through various media and social media platforms that has started, that is always ongoing. We can only achieve this through ongoing partnerships and collaborative efforts under which this hybrid conference was born. Ghana has undoubtedly placed SDG number 17, that is of partnership development, as a priority goal for the country. So in a way, we are fulfilling this. The WAS in West Africa region looks forward to continue developing mutual relationships with governments of West African countries. We are encouraged to do so by our host, the Africa Union Development Agency, AUDA NEPAD. Thankfully, this is already happening in the Southern Africa region, and part of it entails states being active in the hosting of major WAS events and conferences. The WAS Regional Director for West Africa has begun engagements with the ECOWAS, FAO Regional Office in Africa, which is based here in Accra. And again, through our relationship with our host, AUDA NEPAD, we look forward to strategically connect with the Africa Continental Free Trade Area with its secretariat, once again based here in Ghana. In terms of in-country activities, we are delighted to have a draft MOU with the Chamber of Aquaculture in Ghana, which we expect to ratify soon. We call upon other African country institutions who desire to join us to call on us, and we discuss how we can strategically have mutual relationships valuable to the development of aquaculture in the country and regionally. The current WAS Global President, Dr. Antonio Garza, who is from Mexico, has indicated his desire for WAS to strengthen our links with universities and other related institutions on aquaculture. Recognizing that the large number of majority of our WAS membership are researchers out of these institutions, the regional director will be contacting you about this. We'll be contacting the universities and other research institutions on aquaculture about this. The WAS also intends to intensify its efforts to reach out and organize WAS students. Our goal is to get them more involved in our systems and activities, and the WAS being more practically involved in addressing their needs, including mechanisms to connect them to jobs, internships, and exchange programs. Lastly, all these and other initiatives that we envisage will happen as prelude to our much-awaited Aquaculture Africa Conference 2023, which is scheduled for Ghana in 2023. Yeah, but before that, let's all prepare to come and converge in large in Egypt for the first Aquaculture Africa Conference and Exposition taking place in December 2021 in Alexandria City in Egypt. And don't forget to join and renew your membership for the WAS and be part of this exciting journey. And you can contact us on www.was.org for more information. From the WAS African chapter, from the WAS members in West Africa region, and from the WAS members globally, I thank you all.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Blessing Mafumo, for that wonderful regional and continental perspective. I'm very glad that Africa Aquaculture 2023 is going to be hosted by Ghana, and I'm really, really waiting and looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Yes, so at this point, we would want to take a promotional video from one of our sponsors. But before that, I would want to announce that please, those of us on Zoom, our Zoom audience, kindly raise your hand, and then after the promotional video, you will be called to share your experience and make a comment concerning this particular conference. Thank you.
Located at the center of the world, Ghana is the best investment destination in West Africa and ranks as West Africa's first in the Ease of Doing Business Report 2019. It was projected as one of the fastest growing economies in the world, with a growth rate of 6.8% in 2019, and has been declared as Africa's new bright spot after being ranked 4th in the world and 1st in Africa in the 2019 Global Retail Development Index. As the host of the African Continental Free Trade Area, Ghana is creating the linkages that will make it the gateway to Africa, aided by dynamic policies, a stable political environment, and strong economic fundamentals. It is a land of opportunities, offering businesses across many sectors the potential to flourish. The country is open and accessible to investors and the private sector, providing a peaceful environment and upholding the rule of law. The government of Ghana is confident and optimistic about the positive results in its investment drive through the GIPC. Ghana has 8 million hectares of arable land, well irrigated by a wide network of water bodies, making it a region ready for large-scale mechanized agriculture. The government and major policy planners recognize that expanding the agro-industrial base is the best path to develop. Ghana has put in place the right legal and regulatory framework to increase foreign direct investment. The Industrial Zones Program allows manufacturers and agro-processors to take advantage of favorable tax and duty incentives to produce for exports from Ghana into the EU and US markets. A rich cultural history and wonderful natural beauty makes Ghana a great tourist destination. The Year of Return Tourism and Marketing campaign in 2019 positioned Ghana as a key travel and investment destination for African Americans and people of the global diaspora. The year recorded significant increases in the number of visitors to Ghana. Ghana's growing consumer market is providing compelling reasons for investing in the services sector. The retail sector has been valued at $24.4 billion. A growing middle class with increasing purchasing power is creating demand for a wider variety of sophisticated services in healthcare, finance, and education. In the region, Ghana has one of the highest mobile penetration rates at 140%, with data penetration at 89%. The country has a thriving startup scene, helped by access to broadband internet that runs on fiber optic and 4G networks. The fintech industry is worth over $50 billion. Ghana is an English-speaking nation located in the center of the geographical world, with flight times from Europe or America averaging about 8 hours. Transportation networks in and out of the country have received enhancements in order to aid the ease of doing business. It has a new international airport terminal and an expanded port infrastructure. Tema Port is one of the largest in Africa, with a capacity to handle 3.5 million TEUs. The expansion in the economy is largely due to oil and gas development. Other sustainable sources of power, like solar, wind, and thermal, will significantly increase the country's energy resources. We invite you to share in Ghana's optimism, be part of the incredible opportunities we offer, and be open to the idea to grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
Okay, thank you very much, the GIPC, for that beautiful promotional ad there. So we have 4 online audience, but looking at our time, I think I would have to do a random selection for 2. And if we have time, I will add 1 more. So first of all, I would want to call on Siyambola Omitoyin. Please. Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all participants. I want to say that I'm glad to be part of this conference, and for the first time, I want to say that this first presentation of this first agri conference is one in a positive direction. WAS, World Aquaculture West Africa, is actually moving in the right direction, and I think we need to applaud ourselves for that. For this particular conference, I want to say that the quality of presentations have been very high, and the issues that were highlighted are actually issues that we are battling with in West Africa. And we have not pretended about the fact that we have issues, but we are optimistic that we are going further, and we are going to get to our target or a good end at the end of the year, since we are all working together. I think we should begin to blow a trumpet also, because Africa is seen as the black continent, but good things are coming out of Africa, and we should begin to blow a trumpet also that great things are coming from West Africa. From what we have done over these few days, I think we can begin to have more direct research from the university to attend to the issues faced. And I want to encourage a lot of us in the university that are also able to research, that are doing active research, to look into some of these critical issues and take them up as research questions that we are going to look for solution for. And then I want to say that there is need for us now to begin to put pressure on our government to do the needful. Aquaculture is key to food and nutrition security, and it is it's just a way forward. So I think if we have our governance in place, we have the backing, the institutional responsibility properly done, the policies that will support the food production, I think will still be moving in good direction. And then, just like I think the regional presenter said, the involvement of the university dons will also be appreciated, fully appreciated in the activities of WAS. I want to say that overall, it has been a wonderful experience. The women include the water quality and all the programs that were done. I want to say kudos to every presenter. Thank you very much. I'm Monica Bishimola from the Department of Aquaculture and Fisheries Management, University of Ibadan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your comments, Siyambola Omitoyen. The next online audience I will call is Mabel Omowumi. I want to give the space to the women. So, Mabel. Yes, I have to be gender sensitive.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the moderator. Very happy to be part of this conference. And I want to congratulate Ghana for hosting was and John for this beautiful event, for being part of it. Like the first speaker said, the topics address very pertinent issues that are bothering us in the region. And we have really exchanged ideas, which I know we all go and work on to improve aquaculture in our region as a whole. There's an aspect of regional cooperation, and I want us to work on that, because working together will really help us to achieve more than we have done as individual nations or individual countries. And giving into what Mr. Blessing said in his speech, we need to also, in addition to reaching out to the universities for better research, we need to also include, especially in the area of exchange programs, and also helping them with their internship. I think we need to work on all this so that we can have something better than we already have now. Once again, I want to congratulate every one of us for this beautiful outing. And I'm also looking forward to similar conferences across the different countries in Nigeria. In Africa. And I hope it will be going around. So we'll be welcoming you to Nigeria sometime. I am the one who make the notes from Osun State University, Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Management.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you so much. God bless you so much, Mabel. The next person I will call is Evans Okaru. Please, Evans, please make it brief for me. You have 1 minute, and it starts now.
All right, I want to say this program was very, very educative, and it was all encompassing. You know, the youth are considered, women considered, even human rights considered. This is a very, I think it should be good enough. It's going to be everything, but I want to suggest that possibly a Telegram platform be made available, where intellectuals and farmers can get to share ideas. I think that way the researches done can easily get to farmers also. It might start small, but before you know, more people will be brought in. And I think through that means, youth can also be mentored and encouraged to go in the line of aquaculture. Aquaculture is a very, very, very exciting field, I didn't intend to go into it, but then I was given to study, and from this word go, I've been enjoying it. And this conference is so all-encompassing. Anyone that misses this conference, well, I don't know what to say about it, but from the day one to this very moment, it's very educative. I say thank you to the organizers, thank you to everybody involved, and keep doing great things. And as we know, the youth are the future of tomorrow. As we plan for the youth, we're seeing that the Aquaculture Society is secure since the youth is planned for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Evans, for that. Wonderful. I think your suggestion for the Telegram platform is well taken, and I believe that the chamber would work on that. Thank you very much. All too soon, we are getting close to the end of our closing ceremony. But before we end, we would want to take the closing remarks from Larry Badmus. Unfortunately, Larry Badmus, the Regional Director for World Aquaculture Society for the West African region, could not be with us here in Ghana. But he made sure that his audio visual was available for us to play. So in the next 5 minutes, kindly, the closing remarks from Larry Badmus will be played.
Our most valued invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this important occasion. I, on behalf of the World Aquaculture Society African Chapter, West African region, and the entire committee members of regional and local organizing committee, and on my behalf as a regional director, extend a very heartfelt of thanks to all invited speakers during the opening ceremony for gracing your important work and sharing your findings and opinions on this epoch-making hybrid conference. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to all other speakers, presenters, moderators, the panel, for making this conference a reality. We are all inspired by your great words. To the spirited individuals who has contributed one way or the other for making this conference a success, we say thank you. To all our sponsors, Alaqua, Asaqua, World Initiative for Soil and Human Health, WISH, PumpTech Water Pump Expert, Ghana Investment Promotion Center, JPIC, Saku Farm, Inam Papa Fish Feed, Rana Fish Feed, German Development and Cooperation Agency, and the Royal Norwegian Embassy in Ghana. We say thank you all for your contribution for making this conference a reality. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The world started several years and months ago. It requires planning and a bold eyes for details. We have been fortunate enough to have been backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues, both from Nigeria and Ghana, who know their jobs and are result-oriented. My special thanks to my able team in Nigeria, in persons of Professors Festus Adeosun, Mr. Emmanuel Meyoli, Mrs. Fumilola Shelika, and my able PRO, Mr. Olayinka Kodri, and Deaconess Foluke Ariola, just to mention a few. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to the Chamber of Aquaculture Ghana for hosting this conference, providing perfect logistic and support and a conducive environment to make this conference a huge success. I also extend my thanks to Department of Marine Science, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra, for enormous contribution and cooperation in the organization of this event, including sending in students to actively participate in this conference. Special sincere thanks to the government of Ghana as well. Finally, the World Aquaculture Society, through its commitment to excellence in science, technology, education, and information exchange, we endeavor to contribute to the progressive and sustainable aquaculture development throughout the world. Our membership categories and benefits are open to all. For details, visit the website www.was.org and endeavor to choose African chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, the first hybrid conference in West African region has proven that together as an aquaculture actors in the region, we can do much more collectively, and the sky is the limit. The various institutions, universities,
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Larry Badmus, for that great closing remarks. All too soon, we have come to the end of today's session, or the closing session, and the end of the 3 days first hybrid aquaculture conference. But before we close, I would want to invite Ms. Grace Nikoi Olai, who has been the conference coordinator. I'm pretty sure a lot of you, she has been bothering you and sending you emails. Today you will get to see her face, the beautiful face behind that name, to give us the announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, and thank you everybody for participating in this wonderful conference. My name is Grace, and I've been the conference coordinator. I've got a few announcements for participants. First, we want all participants to know that the YouTube links will be available on the Chamber of Aquaculture website. And also, the conference report would also be available to all participants who registered for the conference. And in case you are not able to receive that from the chamber, it will also be available on the World Aquaculture Society website, as well as the COA website. All too soon, we've come to the end of the program, and we thank the Almighty God for a successful program, giving us a good internet connection, and we are able to do our program. Our profound gratitude goes to all the organizers of this program. We want to say a very big thank you for a good job done. And then to all the hosts, especially the Chamber of Aquaculture Ghana, we want to say a very big thank you to you. Also, the Department of Marine Fisheries, the Department of Fisheries and Marine Sciences from the University of Ghana, we say thank you very much. Also, we want to acknowledge the World Aquaculture Society, the African chapter, for a good job done. Our much appreciation also goes to all the speakers for the various sections, as well as the guest speakers for our program. We say thank you for your wonderful submissions that were made during the conference. We also want to say a very big thank you to all the moderators, many of which have received my calls and my emails. I say thank you very much for coordinating the various sections of the program. And to you, our participants, we are very grateful for your presence throughout. All participants across the world for making time throughout the program. We couldn't have done it without you. We say thank you very much for your presence. And to our technical team, we say Ayeko for a good job done getting us on the internet for the past 3 days. Of course, the media cannot be left out, and we say thank you for the coverage of our program. We can't live without saying a thank you to all the sponsors who have made it possible and supported us through this program. God bless you all for your support. On this note, we say a very big thank you to you all for your presence. God bless you all.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, so thank you very much. So on this note, I won't talk much, but I want all the Zoom participants, if your bandwidth is good, please switch on your video and give us a wave and say bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank God, thank God, thank God. Congratulations.
We also wait so they see. We also live in the back.
Do you see potential for economic progress that also improves human and animal nutrition in countries with some of the fastest growing populations in the world? Do you want to partner to find solutions for the protein gaps found in Africa, Asia, and Central America? If you can join us in capturing business opportunities in nutritious foods and feeds, then stay tuned. Visionary U.S. soybean growers founded the World Initiative for Soy and Human Health, or WISH, as a program of the American Soybean Association. We are committed to strengthening agricultural market systems in developing and emerging economies in order to improve food security and build long-term demand for U.S. soy. Our work supports businesses, governments, and non-governmental organizations from Guatemala to Uganda to Cambodia to introduce nutritious foods and feeds that grow their businesses and economies. At WISH, we focus on regions where U.S. soy markets don't exist yet, blazing new trails in new sectors around the world. For example, WISH has made significant impacts in Central America by partnering with companies that use U.S. soy to manufacture more nutritious foods and beverages. In Asia, WISH partners have expanded their businesses by putting U.S. soy in fish feed for the first time. And in sub-Saharan Africa, local entrepreneurs have partnered with WISH to grow businesses that sell delicious and nutritious soy-based local foods as well as feeds for poultry, fish, and more. So what can a partnership with WISH do for you? Working on behalf of U.S. soybean farmers, our goal is to create global partnerships and provide new opportunities for businesses and entrepreneurs that expand the potential for trade. Our approach is designed to increase demand, fuel economic growth, and connect entrepreneurs. The best part is that we do this at no cost to you. So how does it work? Thanks to decades of accumulated knowledge, we tap into expert resources to educate, mentor, and network to help your business grow both in size and through the latest innovations. Thanks to our soy experts, who are deeply connected to the regions where we work, we offer you face-to-face education and technical expertise. Working in developing and emerging markets, we identify market sectors with real potential for growth, work with key stakeholders, and provide effective trade solutions. While serving as an incubator, we connect driven leaders with supply chain partners. We help you network for strategic partnerships and create opportunities to launch a new product or service. And our go-to market strategists offer a localized approach, the right resources, the right expertise, and the right systems for better nutrition and improved food security in your market. At WISH, our greatest strength is our ability to facilitate strategic partnerships throughout the world to promote the benefits of soy. WISH and the American Soybean Association have the vision and the voice to continue to build awareness, create partnerships, and drive change for a healthier world.